So today I want to discuss type 2 diabetes and neuropathy. Now, your feet are dying a slow, painful death, and you may not even know it yet. So listen closely because what I'm about to share with you could save you from a fate worse than you can imagine. Now, that burning, tingling, that numbness in your feet, it's not just another annoying symptom of diabetes, it's your body screaming for help. Type 2 diabetes is silently destroying your nerves, starting with your feet and creeping upwards like a relentless invader. First, you'll start noticing those pins and needles sensation, maybe some numbness that comes and goes, and you might think it's nothing serious, but you couldn't be more wrong. Now, as your nerves continue to die, that occasional numbness becomes permanent. Those sharp pains become your constant companion, and your feet feel like they're on fire one minute and dead and lifeless the next. And the worst part, that is just the beginning. So soon you won't be able to feel if you've even stepped on a piece of glass, and a small cut could become infected without you even knowing. And then your balance will betray you. So simple walks become treacherous journeys. And dancing at your grandchild's wedding, forget about it. Now, those medications your doctor prescribed, they just band-aids on a crushing wound. They might dull the pain, but they can't stop the inevitable progression. Now, without decisive action now, you're on a one-way street to catastrophe. Now picture this. You're sitting in a hospital room and your doctor delivers the news no one wants to hear. We have to amputate. That's right. Now, when neuropathy reaches its final stages, amputation becomes not just possible, but probable. Your independence, gone. Your ability to drive, history. Your life as you know it, changed forever. But here's the truth they're not telling you. You don't have to be another statistic. You don't have to watch helplessly as your body betrays you piece by piece. There is a way to fight back, to take control, to potentially halt the devastating progression in its tracks. Now, the choice is yours, but you must act now, not tomorrow, not next week. Every minute you wait is another minute your nerves are under attack, another step closer to the point of no return. Now, are you ready to take back control of your life? Or will you gamble with your future, hoping you'll be one of the lucky ones? And you know what? There are no lucky ones when it comes to untreated diabetic neuropathy. So, what's your next move? This is important. Now, you're sitting in front of your device and you did a search for type 2 diabetes neuropathy, and this video came up. So let me help you find the answers you are looking for. So my name is Vivian Neveling, and I'm the founder and CEO of Elite Health Renewal, aka the Diabetes Slayer. So when you were first diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, you were prescribed medication based on your A1C levels. Now that is standard of care. So here I've got a definition. So that's the treatment that is accepted by medical experts as a proper treatment for a certain type of disease, and that is widely used by healthcare professionals. So everyone uses the same formula. So it looks something like this. It's the chart, right? There you have it. Now let me ask you this. Did your doctor inform you that standard of care, probably the one they put you on, has a 0.1% diabetes remission rate or reversal rate? Let me be more clear. It has a 99.99% failure rate. And this isn't me saying so. This is according to a large clinical trial called the Kaiser Permanente study. And it wasn't only 3 folks sitting there being tested. No, it included 122,000 adults with type 2 diabetes. Now, let me say that again. Standard of care was shown to have a 99.99% failure rate. I mean, this is just shocking. And the study also found that the rate of prolonged remission was extremely rare at 0.007. I mean, is that really a statistic? So the study also found that chances of dying or mortality were higher than the chances of any remission. So they tell you that type 2 diabetes is a chronic progressive condition and there is nothing to be done about it. It's your fate. Man, just accept it. Now, would you agree that the doctors with their drugs, with the severe side effects, they treat the symptoms and not the root cause of type 2 diabetes? Now, if you are on standard of care, maybe metformin, sulfonylureas, or Zempic, and the diet the ADA recommends, and you do your due diligence with your exercise, so you've done everything they tell you to do. So why then are things getting worse? Let me tell it to you straight. Type 2 diabetes is primarily caused by insulin resistance resulting from chronic overconsumption of carbohydrates, particularly refined sugars and processed grains. Now, the continuous high intake of carbohydrate forces the pancreas to produce excessive insulin. So eventually, it leads to cells becoming resistant to insulin's effects. So another question, let me ask you this. What causes chronically elevated blood glucose levels? What we eat, right? Now, nobody has chronically elevated blood sugar without food being the central issue. So a quick lesson here. So bear with me. We have 3 macronutrients: carbohydrates, protein, and fat. Now, what happens to our blood sugar when we eat carbs? It spikes. Now, if we eat protein, it spikes a little. And finally, when we eat fat, it really doesn't do much. So you see carbs, and it doesn't matter if it's sugar, pasta, bread, rice, or an apple, all of them get broken down to glucose, which will spike your blood sugar. Have a look at this graph. So first of all, it spikes, and then it comes down, and then the complex carbs, they spike. So there will be insulin all over your body. Because remember, complex carbs are nothing more than long chains of glucose, but they all get broken down to glucose. So think about it this way. Without the high glucose load from carbs, the requirement for insulin drops immediately, and your pancreas don't need to overproduce insulin, which causes your cells to become insulin resistant. So, does it then make sense to say that type 2 diabetes is a dietary disease and should be treated as such? Now, the shocking truth is that people who follow standard of care are still diabetic. And let me tell you why they want to keep you that way. So hold on to your seat, because what I'm about to reveal will make your blood boil. While you're struggling with skyrocketing blood sugar, 2 massive industries are getting fat off your suffering. First, there's big food, pumping out the addictive concoctions of processed garbage loaded with hidden sugars and refined carbs that send your insulin through the roof. They know exactly what they're doing, but their billion-dollar profits matter more than your health. But that's just the beginning of this sinister story. Now, the pharmaceutical giants, they're counting on you staying sick. Every diabetic patient is worth a fortune in lifetime medication costs. Why would they want to cure you when managing your disease is their cash cow? And your doctor? The poor soul was trained in a system designed to keep you dependent on pills, shots, and endless appointments. Now, while brave physicians like Dr. Jason Fung and Professor Noakes fight to expose the truth about reversing diabetes through diet, the medical establishment tries to silence them. And your doctor? The poor soul was trained in a system designed to keep you dependent on pills, shots, and endless appointments. Now, the most blood-curdling part, the very dietary guidelines you're told to follow are keeping you sick, ADA included. They're pushing the same high carb diet that got you in this mess in the first place. Wake up. You're not getting better because the system is rigged against you. The cure for type 2 diabetes and neuropathy exists, but it threatens too many powerful interests who profit from your suffering. Now, the question is, are you ready to break free from their trap? Or will you keep playing the game, watching your health slip away while they count their money? The choice is absolutely yours, but at least now you know the truth. Do you agree? The root cause is insulin resistance. And if you can fix that, you can reverse your type 2 diabetes. Now, the root cause of type 2 diabetes is exactly the same for neuropathy. Now, let me explain. So, when you have type 2 diabetes and your body is in a constant state of hyperglycemia, now the glucose glycates the proteins on the myelin sheath, which is on the axon of the neuron, and eventually it deteriorates and dies off. Now, the longer a neuron is, the worse the effect. Then your immune system is like, what's going on here? And they destroy and attack, which leads to inflammation. So the goal is not to reduce your symptoms like the burning, the itching, the agonizing pain and numbness with medications such as Neurontin, Lyrica, amitriptyline, Tegretol. Because remember, the neuropathy still progresses, it won't get better. Now, it is clear if you remain on standard of care, the treatment your doctor puts you on, your neuropathy will slowly progress with a greater probability of long-term complications. So you'll only be prescribed more and more medications that only treat the symptoms and increase your financial burden. Standard of care is not a cure. It is a lifetime sentence of treatment, hospitalizations, doctor's visits. It will never end. But it doesn't need to be this way. With the right education, if you address the root cause of the neuropathy, then you can reverse it. It's as simple as that. Now be warned, that tingling and numbness isn't just an annoyance. It's the red alert warning sign your body's sending before permanent nerve damage sets in. Now, while your doctor pushes pills that barely mask the symptoms, there's a better way to fight back against this ruthless attacker, but only if you're brave enough to take action now before your nervous system throws in the towel for good. So listen up. What I'm about to reveal could be the wake-up call that saves your life. So we've just kicked the door open on a Take No Prisoners video masterclass that's making the diabetes establishment squirm in their cushy office chairs. Now, this isn't some wishy-washy, eat your vegetable lecture. It's your personal battle plan for declaring all-out war on type 2 diabetes and neuropathy. But fair warning, if you're looking for another magic pill, fairy tale, move along. We're hunting for serious players who are sick and tired of being sick and tired, ready to get their hands dirty and reclaim their health. If that's you, then stop whatever you're doing right now. The link is in the description. Click on it, watch the masterclass. You've got nothing to lose and it's absolutely free. Now, this is your chance to rewrite your story. From diabetic disaster to comeback champion. There's a lean, mean, healthy as hell version of you ready to break out. Now, the gloves are off, and we're taking the fight straight to type 2 diabetes and neuropathy's front door. I've got you back in this war. You ready to join the rebellion? Go watch the masterclass.